This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of The Fine Print, one of our podcasts on the Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. The call is free, and some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. 888-825-5225. Brent is going to start off this hour in Akron, Ohio. Hi, Brent. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
What I am wondering, I've never heard anybody ask something like this before, is my wife and I have saved up a good chunk of money to build a house. But until we get the rest of the savings taken care of for building the house, we're wondering, would it be a bad idea to purchase a rental property or just an investment property and hold on to it for the next, say, 3, 4, maybe 5 years until we get the rest of our savings for building the house? And then
where are you
that
living?
Property.
Where are you living?
We are in a rental.
So why would you buy an investment property? Why wouldn't you buy something to live in?
Because we are we pay about half the going rate of the rate around our area. We actually rent from family. Mm-hmm. And we've been here about 25 years. We like where we're at. And we have property to build on already. We already own the property. So we're just waiting to get the rest of the money to build.
All right. So how much money have you got?
Right now, we got about $320,000 saved up.
How much you need?
Probably. Originally, it was probably going to be about 400, and then COVID hit, and now it's probably going to be 5, maybe 550.
What do you make? Household income?
We bring in around, before taxes, around 120.
Okay, so how long is it going to take you to get this other 180?
I'm figuring probably at least 3 years.
Yeah, 3 or 4 is what I thought. Oh.
What's the purpose of buying the rental property right now?
Just because right now we've got that money parked in a money market account. Mm-hmm. But we're only getting like 0.5% right now.
Yeah.
And what we were thinking is if we did that for a couple of years and resell it, we would get more of a return on that money than what we will get over that course of time in the money market account.
There's just a lot of risk, and you're looking at all of the upside and none of the downside with this rental property situation.
Yeah, the problem with real estate is that it's sometimes hard to get out of. It's an illiquid investment, okay? You can't just decide I'm going to sell it. Now, for the last 3 or 4 years, you can just decide you're going to sell a house and it's gone in 30 days. But that's not been a normal way of doing real estate, except that's an unusual 3-year period, okay? And if we go into a slower real estate market, which I think we're going to, then you might have trouble getting out of that thing when you want to.
Uh-huh.
And you don't want to. And there's a word for real estate that sells really fast, cheap. You give it away because you need the money, right? And then all your theory of making money goes out the window. I love real estate, but I probably wouldn't do that. I think you're adding a lot of hassle to your life. I would move some of the money into probably an index fund that is liquid. In other words, you can cash it out anytime you want, but you're going to make more than 0.5% over 3 years. Index fund follows the stock market, and I think over the next 3 or 4 years you're going to make some money in that. Better than 0.5% for sure. I've got a bunch of money in that myself, and so obviously I do believe that that's what's happening. So. But if you don't want to move it all in there, maybe half of it, and at least you'll make something on it. But I'm not going to. I'm not worried about the investment property going down in value. I'm worried about the market slowing down, and you can't get out of it as quickly as you need to when you're finally ready to build this dream house after 25 years of renting.
Yeah, you've got a specific timeline you're looking for to do this in the next 3 years. It just feels like there's too much on the line.
Yeah, just to make a little money on it. And so if you make 10% on $300,000, it's $30,000. $30,000 does not solve this problem. It just keeps you from being aggravated making no money in a money market. That's all it does. So I'm going to move some of it or all of it into an index fund, but I don't think I would do real estate in this case because I don't know how quickly the house is going to sell.
It's a great long-term investment, but in the short term, it could be volatile, the market. We've
said it over and over and over for the past 3 or 4 weeks, but it bears saying a lot more. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to do an event on this coming up. We'll let y'all know when and everything. But real estate's such a hot topic right now. There's so many things going on with it. But I am positive, that real estate is not going to go down in value in the next 5 years. Some of you are going, oh, it's artificially high. It's going to go down. No, it's not.
There's so much talk of the crash right now.
There is not. It's simply not going to go down. And let me help you with this, okay? I've been in real estate for 30 years. It's a real simple equation. 100%, and I just taped a thing a few minutes ago for the Instagram goobies out there with Brooke, who runs Instagram stuff, but 100% of real estate prices is based on supply-demand. Period. When there is more buyers than sellers, prices go up. When there is more sellers than buyers, prices go down. Now, there's things that affect how many buyers there are and how many sellers there are, but that's the equation. Inflation, recession, stagflation, idiots in the White House, high interest rates affect the number of buyers. But unless the number of buyers goes substantially below the number of sellers in the marketplace, you're not going to see prices go down. And we know that this is not going to happen because this year we have 128 million households. In 2007, we had 116 million households. 12 million more households today that need houses. In 2007, there were 2.1 million new housing starts. This year, 1.4 million. The inventory available for sale of houses right now is 50% of what it was in 2007. Supply is drastically short versus demand. Prices are not going down. There is not going to be a real estate crash. There's nothing in this equation that says there's going to be a real estate crash. Nothing. And you can take it to the bank. I've told you some other stuff that came true. Like I told you inflation was coming. I tell you stuff. Guys, I've been doing this a long time. I'm going to wait on the house prices to go down. They're not going down. What goes up must go down. You're wrong. This is the Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Michael is in Daytona Beach. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So I had gotten a car accident about 2 years ago, and just now I'm finally receiving the settlement. And instead of blowing it, I want to try to invest with it, should I say. After paying some debt off with it, I'll probably have like $20,000. But my big question is, so I also owe on my car, and it's about $500 a month. I owe about $10,000. So I'm wondering if I should take that $10,000 and invest it and make money off of that, or should I just pay my car off and get rid of debt in general? But the problem is it's hard for me to save money in general.
Do you have any permanent damage from the accident?
Yes, I do. I have a lower back injury, so I'm kind of limited to work sometimes.
Do you need some of the money to continue medical?
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I'm going to keep about half of it, keep it in the account just for, days that I can't work, days, I'm having to pay for some type of medical, and I'm thinking about keeping about 10 of it for either paying the car off or using it to invest. And I was thinking about doing some investment in like vending machines, but, doing it like new, I'm only going to get about one vending machine. And, if I'm lucky, making $600 a month off of that,
How old are you, Michael?
I am 35.
Okay. And what's the settlement amount?
So I received about 33, but I have to pay off some family debt when I got my house, and there's some things that I need to work on my house, some investment, fixing up my house, doing some gutter work and stuff like that.
How much debt do you have total? Just consumer debt, non-mortgage?
Non-mortgage. So I owe about $10,000 for the car. I do have another personal loan that I owe a few $1,000s on. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen it in a while. That just comes out of my bank account like monthly, so I haven't really looked at it. It's probably maybe $3,000 or $4,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And how much is the family loan?
I'm sorry?
How much is the family loan?
What do you mean by family loan?
You said you owed family some money.
Oh, okay. That's about $3,400.
Okay. So I'm at $16,400 plus the gutters are going to be how much?
It's about $1,500.
Okay. So I'm going to call it $20,000. It's going to leave you $13,000 after you pay off everything.
Is that all the money you have to your name at that point?
Yes. Right now I've got about, I haven't quite got up to what I'm paid off yet, but I've got about 27 in the bank still. So like I said, about 7 of that's going to go towards the gutters and paying
27,000 or 2,700?
1,000.
You said 7 towards the gutters, but you just told us it's going to cost $1,500.
No, $1,500 for the gutters.
Mm-hmm.
And then about, I think I said it was either 30, I think it's 34. So, plus I was just kind of like giving a rough estimate.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would be debt-free. I would set aside an emergency fund, and no, I would not buy vending machines. I would think about what your new career is going to be that doesn't strain your back, and if you need to take some classes, I'd spend some money on that to work your new career that doesn't strain your back. You have an income problem going forward, and you're going to have to get some discipline because you're going to burn through the rest of this money like nothing in 2 years, and you're going to end up with nothing out of this.
Well, I do work, but
not enough.
Not like full. I work probably close to 40 hours a week.
Yeah, but you were setting money aside for when you can't work, which means you're in the wrong job. You told me you wanted to set money aside for when you can't work. That doesn't have a good plan over a 30-year period of time. You're not going to have this money for 30 years of doing that. So you need to create enough of an income to live on and have enough disciplined process in your budget where you don't overspend what you have coming in, so you don't need any money except for maybe a future surgery. because you have enough income coming in and enough discipline on that income to control it with a budget and living, straight up on that. Hold on. We're going to send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, which has helped 10 million people do what you're trying to do. And if you'll read it and do it, it'll work. I promise you.
And restocking a vending machine sounds like it would hurt my back.
Exactly. It does hurt your back. Have you ever lifted cases of Cokes and water? No, it does hurt your back. It's not. And besides that means he's been on get-rich-quick scam TikTok crap. That's exactly where you get that, because nobody else is teaching you to buy vending machines as an investment except idiots on TikTok.
It's coming back around. All the old trends.
Well, all the old trends in a new way. I mean, we just found out a high-tech way to do stupid now. That's all it is. All right, Jancy is with us. Jancy's in Orlando. Hi, Jancy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how are you doing this afternoon?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Great. Okay, I have a question. I just did the 5-minute coverage checkup for the confidence in your coverage, and you have a question there that says, do you have life insurance? And yes, I have life insurance, but when you ask cash value or term, mine is I have a level term life policy.
You have the right kind.
Do I keep that?
Yes.
Level term, because it does have a cash value.
It's not level term if it has a cash value. Term insurance does not have a cash value.
That's what they're calling it, level term life insurance.
And it has a cash value?
Cash value.
It sounds like you have cash value.
Who is the company?
Horace Mann.
Okay, no, you don't keep it. It's crap.
Don't keep it. Okay,
no.
20 years, I can turn around and give them the cash value back.
No. This is horrible. It's horrible. Horrible investment.
Get rid of it.
It's too expensive. Way too expensive. How much coverage have you got?
It's $100,000, and I pay $84 a month.
I bet you do. How old are you?
51.
Okay. Jump on XanderInsurance.com and get a quote on real 20-year level term insurance. It has no cash value buildup. The only way it pays is if you die, and you're going to find it to be less than half of what you're paying now. And if you'll take the money that you save and invest it, you'll have a lot more than old Horace will give you later.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay, so thank you for taking that checkup. That's cool. I'm glad it activated you.
It's helpful.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is good. It's interesting. But I've been wondering about this policy for a while, what your thoughts would be on it.
Yeah, they're an old antique whole life company.
Right, and at the end of the 20 years, the payout drops.
Yeah, your grandpa probably bought that.
Put all the money.
That's an old that's an old school, backwoods, nasty stuff.
Sounds like it was marketed to her as level term, but it really was just whole life by different name.
They just lied on the cover of it or something. I don't know, because it's not term. Term insurance is for a term and has no cash value buildup. That is the actual definition. So even if you name it a duck, it's still not a duck. It's still a hog.
So confusing.
Horace the hog.
Yeah,
but there you go.
So it's been around for a long time. The idea with cash value is that you have the cash value while you're alive. Isn't that great? But you don't get both. So you don't get the face of the policy and the cash value.
Right.
So it's a terrible deal.
So when you die, after you paid extra to build up this savings, they pay only the face amount, and they don't pay the cash value. They keep the money. You paid extra to build up a savings account that when you die, they keep. It's a really horrible.
If that was part of the sales pitch, no one would buy it.
Whole life cash value insurance is the payday lender of the middle class. It's a complete screw job. It's nasty, bad, horrible product.
So if you've got it, get term life in place and then cancel the whole life policy.
Never cancel a policy till you have the new one in place, Jancy. Don't cancel it until you get the new one in place. But get on the phone, get on the line with Xander, and they'll get you a quick term policy, and you're going to be blown away at how much you've been overpaying. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Chris and Kim are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
We're great, Dave. How are you?
Great.
Better than I deserve. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
We live in Ixonia, Wisconsin, which is exactly in the middle between Milwaukee and Madison.
Cool. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
Good to have you guys. And how much debt have you paid off?
Gosh, we paid off $101,440.16.
Perfect. How long did that take?
It took us 2 years and 2 weeks.
All right. Like it. And your range of income during that 2 years?
That's about 135 to 150 and back down to about 125.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
Well, during my debt-free journey, I was a correctional officer for a large sheriff's department.
And I was a nurse case manager.
Ah, okay. And you said you were. What are you doing now?
Yep. Well, right now I'm going back to work that matters to me and that I'm passionate about. So now I'm back into landscaping, which I've always really loved. And I'm going to see where that takes me.
Very cool. Good for you. Fun. What kind of debt was the 101?
Unfortunately, it was everything, Dave.
House and everything?
No, it was everything.
Oh, every kind of debt. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We're super normal, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Credit cards, about $25,000. We had 2 auto loans for about $24,000. A 401k loan at about $19,000. A consolidation loan at about $14,000. Student loans at about $10,000, and then shortly after we started our debt-free journey, Kim had a series of medical events that led us to about $6,100 of medical debt.
Oh my goodness!
You collected them all.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you had the whole collection, man. I mean,
we did.
Wow. How long y'all been married?
It was 15 years.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
So what happened at 2 year ago mark that was the wake-up call, and what changed everything?
Gosh, even before our debt-free journey, we're originally from Massachusetts, so we moved to Wisconsin in about 2012. And then after owning a house for that time in Massachusetts, when we moved, we went to renting for 4 years. And then at about 2016, we were starting to get a little itchy. Our littles were running around, and we didn't have the space in the apartment complex. So we slowly started the process of buying a house. Now, it wasn't the right way to buy a house, but certainly we started the process. So we paid down some debt, but we weren't 100% debt-free. So then we figured out that it might be a good idea to maybe take a loan against Kim's 401k, which was a really bad idea, hindsight being 2020 for sure. But we took out a loan for roughly $40,000. Some of the proceeds went towards the down payment of the house, and the rest went to things that people always do when they buy a house. They buy brand new furniture, they do new landscaping, they do all the things. So you fast forward a year later, unfortunately, the debt that we had paid off, we had racked back up, which really scared us quite frankly. It scared me as well. We didn't adjust our budget for doubling our mortgage based on what our rent was before. So we were still living the same way, yet our expenses were a lot more. So then Kim thought it might be a good idea maybe if we do a consolidation loan. And I was a little wary in the beginning.
Gotta move it.
Yeah.
You guys just did everything.
We did. It was horrible.
You did everything. What was the wake-up call 2 years ago? What happened?
So I think, it was funny that fall leading up to 2020, I had kind of shut down. I was working overtime, a lot of overtime in law enforcement, and I was throwing a ton of money at our debt, at our credit cards. But then the next month, everything was racked back up and then some. So I had kind of given up, and I wasn't man enough to have a strong conversation with my wife and let her know that I was scared. But, what we finally saw was, Kim bought this book, The Complete Guide to Money by Dave Ramsey. I'm like, oh, what's this? She's like, oh, it's a book, whatever. She had asked me at one point, hey, can you help me figure out how to do this podcast thing. I want to listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast.
Was this a trick, Kim?
I'm just not very electronic savvy.
This was like, hey, help me listen to this thing.
The trick comes in pretty soon when I just kind of keep playing it audibly, laying in bed at night.
Yep. So since I had figured out a way to get her to listen to the podcast, or at least, no, it wasn't me, but
to get them to work.
To get her to figure it out. It was funny. I actually listened to it one day, and I remember the story of, I think it was a pharmacist down in South Florida that called and said that he was thrilled that he made $200,000 a year and he had paid off $10,000 of debt in 1 year. And I think you shredded him immediately.
You sound like he needed it.
And, yeah, for sure. And listening to that, I was like, man, this guy's pretty cool. I like this. And of course, as you listen to the podcast, you start hearing that, well, I'm on baby step 2, I'm on baby step 3B. And I'm like, well, what are these baby steps? What's this all about? So I immediately took the book from the bedstand or the nightstand, and I read it in one night. And I was like, man, we got to do this. This just makes a lot of sense. So,
Kim, you made it his idea. You're a genius.
Dad.
You're a genius, Kim.
Thank you, Dave. I needed that today.
Wow. So you said, I'm done with the shortcuts and the life hacks that we can borrow from the 401k and consolidate over here. And you realize we just got to get out of this thing.
My plan was not working. You know, moving the money, moving the debt just didn't seem to get us any further ahead. And I didn't know how to tackle it. And this plan helped us to figure out how to knock it out.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You pay off $101,000 in 2 years and 2 weeks. It's so impressive.
Gosh,
you did
thank
it.
you. Man, I mean, all of the same things that everyone talks about. Of course, the budget, being on the same page with your spouse. For me, I think on a simple level, if you've been married or you have a spouse or you have someone you're in a serious relationship with, don't be scared to have a hard conversation with your spouse. Because if I was, strong enough to have that conversation years before, we'd be in a different position now. And also, I think you got to get pissed off for greatness.
Yes.
That's a good quote.
You just have to get after it.
That'll work. That'll work. Right there.
all of the mornings, getting up early at 1 o'clock in the morning to go work at the jail. Staying late till 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Kim doing Instacart that we did together, as well as, she
everything,
worked at a
whatever
farm.
it takes.
She did a dairy farm for a couple weeks. I mean, she
you
did
brought
all
the
things.
kiddos with you. What are their names and ages? Let's get them in.
Yeah.
So we have Lily. She's 13, and we have Gage is 12.
All right. Very cool. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story for sure. And a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away, and maybe does what the Complete Guide to Money guy did for you guys. That'd be awesome. And also got a 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University. If you've not been through it, go through it. If you have been through it, give it to somebody. We've given you some things to give away and pay it forward with here as well.
Thank you, Dave.
So proud of y'all.
Thanks, George.
You're heroes, man. You did it.
Thank you.
So proud.
So very, very cool. Worked your tail end off and busted through in a complete change. It's just, man, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Mysteriously on a podcast while your wife tries to get you to show you how it works. I like this. This is so good.
Tech support, ladies. That's the hack to get your husband on board.
Tech support. I need some help here with this. Would you help me with this? Yeah. I don't know how to work it. Wink, wink. All right, Chris, Kim, Lily, Gage, Madison, Wisconsin area, Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, $101,000 paid off in 2 years and 2 weeks, making $135 to $150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Woo!
Just like that.
And that's why you travel all the way across the country, to have that feeling.
Worth it.
The Braveheart scream. Yeah, baby!
Get pissed off for greatness, America. What are you waiting for?
Get pissed off for greatness. That's like a campaign slogan.
Yeah.
That would work.
That might
get you elected.
If you ever run, Dave, that could be it.
I'm not running. I'm running from running, but that's not happening. Yeah.
We like it that way.
I don't want to take a big pay cut. My life's good. Oh my gosh, you guys are incredible.
Awesome.
Well done, gang. Well done. Woo! Heroes in the house. This is the Ramsey Show. Well, there's so much crazy going on out there. People are looking for direction on how to handle their finances, but they're also struggling to see if it's even possible to build wealth. At our Building Wealth live event, we'll walk you through all the crazy that's going on and teach you how to really build wealth in this situation, just like we always do. And these are the only principles that work in prosperous times and they work in hard times. And no matter where you are with your money today, you can get on a path to building wealth. The Building Wealth Live Tour has already made a couple of sold-out stops in Las Vegas and Orlando, wrapping up our spring portion of the tour. It's been great. We're just getting started, though. Got quite a few in, 4 more in the fall. Phoenix is September the 13th, Sacramento, November the 1st, Minneapolis, November the 10th, San Antonio, November the 15th. Rachel Cruz, George Camel, Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, and me. We will all be there. We look forward to signing your books, taking pictures with you, answering questions. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. It's going to be an incredible event at each of those cities on those dates. By the way, those are all 85 to 95% sold out. So if you want a ticket, don't wait much longer. Event passes for these things start as low as $25, and you can get a 4-pack as low as $60. So take a bunch of friends with you. It's going to be amazing. RamseySolutions.com/events. Phoenix, Sacramento, Minneapolis, San Antonio, all this fall. Going to be fun, George.
I love it. We've had a great time so far, and the people have been amazing. That's been my favorite part, just seeing people again.
Absolutely. Derek is in Winston-Salem. Hi, Derek. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
Hey, well, I was hoping you'd ask me how I'm doing.
How are you?
I'm better than I deserve.
There we go.
Okay, good. How can we help?
Yes, sir. So my question is, my wife and I just paid off all consumer debt outside of the mortgage. We're sort of looking on guidance how intensely we should put towards the emergency fund. We've been putting about $1,000 a week towards debt until we got debt free, and now just sort of looking for the intensity we need to find.
As intense as you've been getting out of debt until you get the emergency fund done. Baby steps 1 through 3, you do like your hair's on fire, scorched earth. Nothing is going on until you get that emergency fund in place and have no debt, because that is the baseline for not being broke anymore. Then you can start to invest, and we move from gazelle intensity to, in baby steps 4 through 7, intentionality.
So what's the fully funded emergency fund for you? What number?
So, well, we haven't really done the numbers, but I'd say it's close to $40,000 at least.
That's your expenses for 3 to 6 months?
Well, no,
that feels real high.
I would want.
No, I don't know. I don't care what you want. Your emergency fund should be 3 to 6 months of expenses, and $40,000 is not that. That's not $40,000. What's your household income?
Yes, sir. Last year, $136,000.
Okay, so what's it take to operate your house if you don't have any debt per month?
Oof. Probably less than $2,000.
You're not doing a budget, are you?
Yes, sir. Written every week.
Then you should tell me, if you do a budget, how much it takes to operate your house. You should know that. You guessed.
Yeah, well, we need to tighten that up. Well, see, our house payment's $900, and then we have no sewer. We've got a septic tank and well, so no expenses there, and then.
So a rough number, you'd say $3,000?
I'm calling it $3,000.
$3,000. Call it 6 months. That's $18,000 max.
So yeah, you need between $10,000 and $20,000 as your emergency fund.
And you said you're putting away $1,000 a week, and so that tells me in 18 weeks you got a fully funded emergency fund.
Or 10 weeks, somewhere in there. Yeah, you're gonna be fine with $10,000 or $15,000 as your emergency fund. Then you slow down and go to intentionality from intensity at that point. But that's exactly how you do it. So maybe he's nervous on the radio. Maybe he really has a budget. But,
I believe him.
But when you can't tell me your numbers, that tells me you don't know your numbers. So something's up. Or maybe you just caught flat-footed, a little scary here on the air. It's hard to be on the air. It's hard to be on the air unless you do it every day. So
that's true.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Steve is in Wisconsin. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, sir. Don't yell at me, first off. I've done some stupid things. Took out a whole life policy about 20 years ago. At my age,
if that's the dumbest thing you ever did, you're brilliant. I've done a lot dumber things than that, brother.
Yeah, well, I know you're not big on whole life.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell you to keep it, but
no. Well, here's the issue. I'm 60 years old. We got about 800,000 in our 401ks and stuff. 75,000 left on the house. Otherwise, we're debt free.
Way to go.
Not sure with this whole life if I need it anymore. Can I just get rid of life insurance and not have it anymore, or should I turn it and get rid of it and get a term?
How old are you?
60.
How old's your wife?
I'm not going to tell you. She's going to shoot me. No, she's 59.
Okay, all right. So, if what does she? If you died, what would it take her to live a year in income? How much income would she need to live on? Reasonably, not beans and rice, but have a good life and be glad you're gone. How much would it take?
I only make $50,000 a year.
Okay, so $50,000 a year, she'd live on that comfortably.
Well, that's before taxes, so yeah, she'd be able to make it, I would think.
Yeah, but if she got $50,000 a year and had to pay taxes on the 50 or 60, she'd be okay, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. If 800,000 produces 10% rate of return in mutual funds, that's 80,000. I think she's okay. If you've got it, do you have the 800,000 invested in mutual funds?
Yeah, two different things through my 401k and other mutual funds and stuff like that. So
sit down with one of our SmartVestor pros and have her understand with you how you would invest how she would invest the 800,000 and make a living off of that without touching the 800,000 if you die. Once she understands that, you'll understand that you need to pay off the house tomorrow and you don't need any life insurance.
Okay.
How much cash value is in this policy?
It's about $350. That one's $350.
The cash value is $350,000?
Oh, I'm sorry. If I die, it was $350. There's only like $15,000.
Okay. So the face is $350. The cash value is $15. Got it.
Yeah. Well, that'll help pay off the house.
Well, that'll get us closer to paying off the house. Yes.
Yeah. You only both 75. You get 50 when you cancel this stupid policy. And so without any house payments, she can make it off of the income that 800,000 produces. You following me here?
Yeah.
But sit down with your SmartVestor Pro, your financial advisor, and understand how that works and let her understand how that works so she has peace about this, and then cancel that policy and pay off your house. But you need to understand why you're doing that, not just because Dave Ramsey said to do it.
Yeah. And let's see in the math and see it on paper. You go, oh, okay. Yeah, if this happens, this is what's going to keep me afloat. And that's called being self-insured. And that's what we tell people. Once the term policy is what we obviously recommend, once that's out and it's over after 15, 20 years, you should be self-insured if you're following our plan because you have a paid-for house, got plenty of money in the bank, you've been investing.
That's exactly where he is.
Yeah.
He became self-insured. He got $800,000 in mutual funds, and he's got a paid-for house. And the kids are grown and gone. You're self-insured. You have no, because 8% on 800,000, 64,000.
Still, you're going to be okay.
And so she's going to be just fine.
And you get rid of that mortgage payment, plus you get rid of the whole life premiums. Now we're looking even better.
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of the life insurance for years because I want to be worth more alive than dead because it's good for my health, for Sharon.
I thought that was a Sharon
I don't want her offing me in my sleep. See?
So Sharon just wants you to have it for her own personal peace.
SWI. Sharon wants it. Anything that falls in that bucket, Sharon gets it.
Wow.
It's a horrible thing. But 40 years we've been married, so it's working.
It's worth it.
There you go.
SWI is always worth it.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the Entree Leadership podcast, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Emerson is in Chicago to start off this hour. Hi, Emerson. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my wife and I were on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We are a blended family with 5 beautiful children, the oldest getting ready to go into her senior year of high school. She just got her CNA and wishes to continue the nursing path and get her RN here in after her senior year. My question is kind of two-part. There's a local community college here that has a great RN program. My wife and I have saved enough money to send our daughter through that with cash, debt-free. However, she has recently gone on several college visits to expensive universities, and that would require her to go into a significant amount of debt. So I guess my question is, how can I create more buy-in for her to try and lead her down the debt-free path? And if we are unable to do so, how would you recommend we spend the money we saved for her, being that we intended to keep her out of debt and not use it to get her out of debt?
So what has the conversation been like when you say, hey, we've saved up enough money for you to go to this school, and she says, no, I want to go to this expensive school, and what's your next question? How are you going to pay for it?
Yeah, absolutely. How are you going to pay for it? And, the student loan thing comes up all the time. I feel like we've kind of thrown we've used up all our Dave Ramsey weaponry to kind of
clearly that's not working. Just saying, well, Dave said it's got to be on her terms, right, and she's got to understand the implications of the weight of student loans, which she has no clue about right now. Has she been working? You said as a CNA?
Yeah. Well, so she just got her CNA a couple weeks ago at the end when she graduated.
So you're a really nice man, because I wouldn't have let my daughter go on tours of colleges. She lives in my house.
Well, that's
you can't go test drive Bentleys if you can't afford a Bentley. There's no reason to go on the lot.
True.
No reason to go on the lot, except get pissed off that you can't get a Bentley. That's all that happens. And so, yeah.
She certainly has.
You said blended family. Is this your stepdaughter?
No, it's my daughter. Okay. However, she lives mostly with her mother.
Oh.
So that's part of the battle here.
Okay, so her mother and you're not talking about your current wife and you, have saved up enough money. Your ex and you.
So my current wife and I have saved up the money.
Oh, your ex is not putting any money in the equation?
Correct.
And yet she's stirring up the pot.
You got it.
Yeah. Found the problem, not the kid. Okay.
I mean, you can tell her.
It's not about Dave Ramsey. Okay. Hey, here's an idea. What about this? Do you have any good friends that are RNs that are like 40 years old or 50 years old?
Yes.
Have one of them take her to dinner and knock her on the head.
Okay.
And go, I'm an RN, and the dumbest thing you could ever do is go pay money in student loan debt for the college experience when you can go get an RN for free because your dad will pay for it. That's dumber than a rock. Have them tell her that.
Okay.
She'll listen to a nurse, right? That's what she wants to be. Because here's the point. She is not going into debt to become an RN. She's going into debt to attend a freaking college that she wants to go to. She can be an RN without debt. We've established that. So really all she's borrowing money for is beer pong.
That's right. That is correct.
This is bullcrap. I mean, they got a good they got a good football team, which you don't play on, darling. Okay? I mean, you can attend the game over there for a lot cheaper than you can attend the college over there.
We talk about this in the Borrowed Future documentary, which I would recommend you sit down and watch with her and have a conversation about it afterwards. 88 minutes. It will definitely change the way she sees the entire college.
I'll give you a free. We'll give you a free link to watch Borrowed Future together, and we'll send you a copy of Debt Free Degree. But here's what you're going to have to do. Is there any chance you get to talk to your ex in a reasonable tone, and she actually catches on to the idea that this has to stop and she needs to quit this?
No, I've tried that. I sent her a long text message and used soft gloves, so to speak, and I kind of just a little bit of where she's coming from. She thinks, that because some places offer free parking and free laundry, that's worth
going into debt for.
Going into
so
debt.
I missed the part where it's free.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's dumber than a rock. Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're going to counterbalance your ex-wife's stupidity. It's going to be difficult. But I think if you get a good RN to take your daughter to dinner and knock her on the noggin and tell her that she does not need to do this, it's a dumb idea, go be an RN, and then you can have some experiences. And because you'll be making a lot of money, and you don't have to go to that other college to do that, number one. Number two, we'll give you a link to, Austin will pick up, and we'll give you a link to Borrowed Future. Watch that with your daughter the next time she's there. Lock her in the room with you. Don't say anything. Let her talk when the movie's over. Believe me, George and I and the gang in Borrowed Future will do our jobs. It will scare the bejesus out of you on student loan debt when you watch this thing. The student loan program is an epic failure. But here's the thing. Oh, you asked me one other question I didn't answer. If you don't do what I want you to do, that I think is wise and good for you because I love you, I will give you no money. I will not fund your stupidity partially. I will not participate financially in your crazy butt decisions. This is Dave talking to his kids. This is exactly what it sounded like at our house. No is a complete sentence. No. It's dumb, and I'm not going to participate in my daughter, who I love, being dumb and crazy, and I'm not going to fund it. Now, you're going to be nicer than that because you are a nice guy. I'm just that dad. So hang on. Austin will pick up, and we'll get you the book and the documentary, and you
done riled him up.
Man.
It's the landscaping, the football team, the water slide.
The ex-wife, the lazy river, the whole thing. It's got the whole story here. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Real estate market's slowing down, but still one of the best times to sell a house. Probably the best time in the next 5 years, right now. Real estate market's slowing down, but it is not going down in price, and this is the best time to buy a house. It's a very unusual time. It is the best time to sell and best time to buy. Usually it's one or the other. Right now, at this moment, it may not be in 6 months, but at this moment, it is the best time to do both right now. You do need a pro in your corner, someone who actually knows what they're doing, someone who sells a lot of houses. If I assigned you, if you work for me, and I assigned you the task of marketing a $500,000 project, and you hired a marketing consultant who had done it one time, I would fire you for stupidity.
Note to self. Don't
really?
Do that.
I mean, seriously. If you're going to hire a marketing consultant to do a $500,000 project and they've only ever done it one time, they're not a consultant. They're just unemployed. Okay? And that's what a real estate agent is. They're a consultant on how to do a transaction, the proper way to price a transaction, and carry you through a very complicated project called the sale of your largest asset. You do not want your Uncle Charlie, who got his license 3 weeks ago, to sell it for you. That's dumb. Or your aunt who has a friend, Joyce, who just got in the business. And Joyce really would like to list your house. Well, I bet Joyce would like to list your house. Joyce don't use her. No, that's dumb. You get a professional who sells 100 houses a year, 50 houses a year, 300 houses a year to do your house deal. This is smart. You know, and that's why we have endorsed local providers that we endorse. Go to RamseySolutions.com. They're high octane. We don't put our name. We don't tell you to go to so-and-so, endorsed, Ramsey trusted, if they've done 2 transactions last year. They're not qualified. Okay? And let me tell you, that's most real estate agents. Most of them. I'm making this up, but 95% of the transactions are done by about 6 or 8% of the agents in the market. The rest of them got their license, thought it'd be fun, and didn't work much. That's what it amounts to. Sorry for you newbies, but that's how it works in the business. I've had my license since 1978. I know this business. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Find an agent that we recommend in your area. Our question of the day is from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why they are the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings with free samples, free shipping, and new promos they run every month. You'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Erica in Houston. My boyfriend and I have been together for 5 years and have a 3-year-old son. We're both 24 years old. We rent a house from his parents. Last year, he earned over $110,000. He has 12 months of expenses saved in addition to his $10,000 emergency fund, along with 2 other accounts that are well over $10,000. The only debt we have is $25,000 on his car. I'm a full-time college student, work part-time, and I'm home 4 days a week with our son, so we don't have child care expenses. We have a great relationship. He can clearly afford an engagement ring, but he still uses our finances as a reason why we aren't engaged yet. Is this a legit concern? If not, what do you think the holdup is? Woo! Well, Erica, I don't know that he wants to marry you. Based on his actions and his behavior, he has plenty of money. He has 12 months of expenses sitting there in a savings account, so the fact that he's saying he can't afford an engagement ring is an excuse. There's something else going on here. He's scared of commitment, even though he had a child with you and lives with you. So there's a deeper relationship issue here. This is not a financial issue.
Wow, I'm sorry, honey. Well, it's a problem. Yeah, I think that you probably need to sit down with a good counselor, both of you, and decide if this relationship's going to go forward. I hate that it might not because there's a 5-year-old involved, because y'all got things out of order here. And when you get things out of order, people's lives get messed up. And y'all decided to have babies before you got married, and that's getting things out of order. Sorry, but it messes things up. And it makes your life difficult, and it hurts. So I sure hope that a good coach or a good counselor, a good therapist can walk him through his immaturity, because I have a feeling you're sleeping with a little boy. And I'm not talking about your son. I don't think you got a man here. He makes a little bit of money, but he's not acting very manly. he's acting like a scared little boy. And if I was your dad, I'd be scared for you right now. And I am scared for you. I sure hope I'm wrong. I hope you can get him to the table. But if I wake up in your shoes, I'm going to begin a process, a gentle but steady process of bringing this to an end or bringing him to the altar. He gets a choice. And I'm not going to stay. You get a painter, get off the ladder here, buddy. That's the deal. You don't get to keep this arrangement. It's not good for you. It's not good for the baby. It's not. You're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable here. He could just stand up and walk out the door, and you got nada, except a broken heart, and you're a single mom. And he needs to decide what he wants to do. And I would get some professional help in helping him decide that. And hopefully we can bring him around. I'm sure he's not a bad guy, but he is immature and he's scared. George is right. And so it's time for him to grow up. He's a daddy, and he needs to act like it. And it's a crisis we have in this country right now.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the email. I'm sorry for you, honey. This is the Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George, I got to circle back to our call before the break. As we have studied the student loan crisis as an epic failure in America, $1.7 trillion in student loan debt, 45 million people carrying this debt around their necks. When we do know that mathematically you could choose a community college, you can choose an in-state school, you can work, you can get scholarships, and you can go to school debt-free, but people are making choices like that very nice gentleman's young daughter being influenced by her mother, his ex-wife, to make a stupid decision and pay money to get virtually the same education, but go into debt to do it. And it's just a disaster. But Rachel said something as we started talking about this about 3 years ago that stuck with me, that we really do not have a student loan crisis. We really have a parenting crisis. So in his case, he has a parenting crisis because he cannot completely make the decision because he's got his ex in the mix messing up the decision. But and you parents who say, well, they're 18, they can do whatever they want. If they're 18, you need to have more influence in their life. They live under your roof, eat your food, drive your freaking car, and are on your cell phone plan. So they're not free agents. They are a dependent, which means they are dependent on your butt. And they need to understand that. So you don't have to be mean to your kids or rough with your kids or something like that. I never was that. But no one was confused about who was running the asylum. It wasn't the inmates, And so we have a parenting crisis. A guy called up and said, well, my son told me he was going to this expensive school. See, we never had that conversation. My kids didn't tell me stuff. I told them stuff. Well, you didn't listen to them. Well, that's why they're in counseling now, but they don't have any debt, okay? So it's unbelievable. So the parenting crisis, moms and dads, is you need to start today. If your kid is 1, 11, or 18, you need to start today. Education at a trade school, at a tech school, or a 4-year degree, but we're not doing it with debt. So we need to be thinking about how we're going to do that. And you can start talking about that at any age. We are a non-debt family. You will not be going into debt. We are going to figure out a way for you to go to college without that. We're going to save up money. And if you want the money that's in my name that we saved up for your use, you will do it my way, baby, because I have your best interest at heart. This is what's known as a benevolent dictatorship. I'm benevolent, but I own the freaking money, and I love you so much, I'm not going to participate in your crazy. Start talking to your kids early about this.
We've forgotten that college is for education, not for the landscaping and the football
mail that
team.
one in.
I don't know what's going on.
Who knew college was not for your pleasure and entertainment? Oh, I thought that's what it was for. Give me a break. That was sarcasm in case you people didn't know me. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Brandon and Katie are with us. Hey, guys, how are ya?
Hi.
Hey, Dave.
Welcome, welcome. Good to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
Just right up the road, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
All right. Home of the Corvette.
That's right.
Yeah, very good. I picked one up there one time.
Oh, good for you.
I was actually at the museum 2 weeks before it fell in.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that was scary.
Big sinkhole.
Yeah, really, that's a while back. But, yeah, welcome to Nashville. How much debt did you pay off?
$105,000.
All right. How long did this take?
6.5 years.
Wow. Okay. And your range of income during that time?
About $62,000 to $78,000.
Cool. And what kind of debt was the 105?
It was our house.
Yeah. Hey, look at the weird people.
Yeah.
Baby step 7. What's this house worth?
Today, $220 maybe.
All right. So, yeah. Very cool. Good for y'all. Not a payment in the world, baby.
That's good.
I love it. I love it. So tell us about your journey. How'd you decide to do this and get connected to the Ramsey stuff?
So it started back in 2012. Katie's mom actually introduced us to Financial Peace University, but we did it on CD. And so we went through it, and so we started following the baby steps. Made a lot of sense. We paid off car debt. Fortunately, we didn't have a lot of college debt. I had an RTC scholarship, and Katie's family was very generous. So we were already on a good path, but still needed a lot of direction, and that's where the baby steps really helped. But it wasn't till 2020 we did the actual Financial Peace University class. And that's when things got real. I was calculating the numbers, and I was like, we can pay this house off. We can do it. Kept running the numbers again and again, and just knocked it out. Cut up our credit cards. We were all in at that point. And so that was a big change there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Very good, guys. Way to go, you guys. Fun.
So you started this 6.5 years ago, but just 2 years ago, you kind of got amped up to go just full throttle towards the finish line here. What was like the first 4 years? Were you seeing some progress, but you went, we could do better than this? Come on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that initial kind of introduction to the baby steps and everything was good for helping us to pay off that smaller debt. But then it almost seemed not hopeless in its entirety, but just didn't seem as hopeful when we bought our house, which, we put more than 20% down and everything, and did a 15-year mortgage, did it the right way, so to speak. But it just didn't seem very feasible. But then when Brandon sat down and we went through the class and everything, we're like, oh, it just kind of clicked, and we were like, oh, I bet we can do this. And it just seemed more feasible, and we just kept, I think it helped that he just automatically just took out a little bit of extra money each month. And we essentially, we obviously budgeted around that. And so we just kept chipping away at it.
What do y'all do for a living?
I work up at Western Kentucky University. I'm a federal employee, but I work in the Army RTC department. Yeah. And so I help high school, college students if they want to become an Army officer, and help them with scholarships, enrollment, that stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I homeschool our children. And
She's got the harder job.
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah.
Very good. Good for you guys. That's fun. Okay. So what the pandemic is around the time you kicked it in, too. So that kind of gave you a little wake-up call. You're like, we need to get this done.
That's right. Yeah, we started the class, January 2020. So and we finished the last one as the pandemic starting. And so
everything was shut down.
Credit cards were done because that was always a budget buster. We could pay them off every month. But at the end of the month, I'm like, all right, we got some money left over. And then it'd be like, oh, now we got to pay off the credit card bill. So that was that was freeing, just getting rid of that. And then, anything extra, we were just tossing at the house. And I just kept going through the numbers, even though they didn't change. I'm just watching it and like, we can do this. So.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Way to go, y'all. Proud of you. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is now that you've done it?
I mean, I think for me, it was just being content in a lot of it, and just anytime, well, not every time, but sometimes when we would see people like, they bought a house, or they, before we bought our home, or they bought a car, and our mentality was there's two ways to go about it. You either paid cash for it or you're in debt. We obviously had no interest in being in debt, and if they paid cash for it, that's wonderful and good for them. And so that just kind of helped our mentality, I think, continuing on with it, for sure.
So help you curb all the comparisons.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Wow, that's powerful.
Good for you guys. Well done. Well done. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story. You're definitely going to be there, a #1 bestseller. And we'll also give you another #1 bestseller, The Total Money Makeover. You can give that away to somebody and get them started. And we'll give you a 1-year subscription to Ramsey Plus to Financial Peace University, which is good for you guys on DVD. But you can give this to somebody and let them get started on their journey. You brought the kiddos with you. Let's bring them up. What are their names and ages?
Joseph is about to turn 7, and then Juniper is 3.5.
All right. Cute. Beautiful. Cute. Good stuff. All right. Brandon and Katie, Joseph and Jennifer. $105,000 paid off in 6.5 years. House and everything. Looking at weird people. Making 62 to 78. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
That is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
Joseph is jumping for joy on the debt-free stage. We love to see it.
Beautiful. Well done.
Those kids don't even know what just happened.
Gotta love it. Nicole is with us in Detroit. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I appreciate you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm calling today because we bought a new home 2 years ago, and we are using our old home as an income property. We don't owe anything on either of our houses, and we are considering kind of taking advantage of the market and selling the rental property. So wondering your thoughts on that. Our only holdup is we just don't know what to do with the gains. We've lost some money over the course of the last 6 months with the stock market being so volatile, and it's got us a little nervous to put it.
You haven't lost anything if you didn't sell it. Did you sell it?
No, we didn't sell it.
Okay, it's just your value is down, but you haven't lost any money. I haven't lost any money because I didn't sell it.
You're right.
Okay.
I've got to flip my thinking on that. But so what are your thoughts on selling the house?
Why would you sell it?
Well, we would like to pay off our debt that we have.
Oh, I thought you had no debt.
Well, we don't have house debt, but we have a truck and we have a fifth wheel that we have loans on.
Oh, crap.
So,
what do you owe on that junk?
We have $88,000 in the truck and the fifth wheel.
And you want to keep the
you owe $88,000 on the fifth wheel?
No, on both.
Oh, the pair.
Between the truck
and the fifth wheel.
That's some expensive camping. God, you could have stayed at the Four Seasons a lot. Okay.
It's glamping, but we enjoy.
No, it's more than glamping. It's, yeah. Okay.
What's your income?
What's your household income?
My husband works. He is at $88,000. I'm on disability, and it's a total of $107,000.
You're not going to like me.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay. You should not invest in $88,000 worth of things that go down in value when you only make $100,000.
Okay.
So you're selling the wrong thing.
Selling the wrong thing.
You need to sell the junk.
I'd sell the fifth wheel before I sell the rental.
And the truck. And I'd keep the house that goes up in value instead of having a camper sit in the backyard rotting while you sleep in it 6 nights a year.
That's some nice camp.
You can afford that if you make $300,000 a year, but you cannot afford that if you make $100,000 a year. It's too much loss because that camper is going to be worth nothing in 6 years. Nothing. Nada. When something goes down in value, those puppies. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tristan is with us. Tristan is in Canton, Ohio. Hi, Tristan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can George and I help?
So I got a bit of a mouthful for you. I'm 22 years old. My girlfriend and I have been dating for around 6 years. We're only boyfriend and girlfriend right now. We live in my mom's house, and it's currently like a nice situation. You know, nothing bad's happening. My question is that with listening to your show for the past month or so, we kind of realized how bad we are with our finances and our debt. About 2 years ago, I bought a motorcycle, and I currently owe around $22,000 on it. And I also bought a truck about 4 years ago, and I owe around $8,000 on it. Now, me and my girlfriend, we want to, get engaged and buy a house or save up for a house here soon. My question is that should I sell a motorcycle and break even on it and then just work on paying off my truck? Or I've already budgeted out monthly, and I figured out that I could pay off all $30,000 within 10 months, but that's all I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on saving anything or nothing.
Okay. What do you make?
Currently, I have 2 jobs, and I make around $68,000 to $70,000.
Okay. Good for you. You're working hard.
I am. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to back up. I got confused on the details a little bit.
Okay.
So you are living with your girlfriend at your parents' house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And y'all aren't married. Why?
Because we haven't gone that far. Well, we want to. It's I'm buying a ring, and we're going to propose. I've already got the blessing from her dad and everything. She was living with her parents, and they left the state, and she wanted to stay here with me, and she didn't want to go get an apartment, so I finished my basement, and she's living in my basement.
So you don't live in the same room?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. The clarity on this is helpful. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Wow.
How much money do you have in the bank?
Right now I have around $3,000.
Okay. Is she working?
She works 2 part-time jobs, and I would say probably annually she can bring in 15, 20.
Is she in school?
No, sure.
How old is
she? She wants to be a stay-at-home mom. She's 22.
She's a stay-at-home mom. You have a kid?
No, she wants to be. She doesn't want to go to college or anything right now. She's making money on the side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Well, if I'm in your shoes, I'm selling the motorcycle. I'm getting a ring. I'm getting married. I'm moving forward with our life because I think she's more important than the motorcycle. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have a choice on that answer, brother.
That was a trick question.
He completely trapped you. Yeah, you were dead.
Trick question.
Dead meat.
Here's the thing. I'm the one who's wanting to sell the motorcycle. She does not want me to sell it.
That's sweet. That's sweet and all, but it's dumb. You need to sell the motorcycle. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your household income for the year? 60, 70?
60, 70,000.
This feels like a lot of motorcycle and truck to be 60, 70.
And your truck is, how much is your truck worth?
I owe about, it's worth around 15, but I owe around 8 on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, let's get rid of the motorcycle.
Wait a minute. You have a $22,000 motorcycle?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we're definitely selling the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the payment on that?
$440 a month.
Yeah. That's a sweet bike. What is it?
It's a 2020 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy 30-year anniversary.
Jeez, man, that's a beast. I'm
I know,
sorry.
I love it.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I was a smart aleck, but you still got to sell it.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a wonderful bike. But yeah, it's completely out of school here. It's the thing that sticks out in your whole story as the dumbest thing in the whole story. The rest of the story's pretty.
That's what I tell everyone.
Yeah, the rest of your story's a pretty good story. I mean, you got a good situation going on. You're being very moral and very right. You asked her dad for his blessing. He gave it, which means you're a good guy. Man, I think there's a whole lot good going on with you. Yeah, the motorcycle's just the dumbest thing in the picture. Yeah, I'd get rid of it. Oh, I love it, though. It's awesome. I'm sorry. You'll get you another bike, though. You'll get you another bike. I mean, someday you'll get a bike, and you'll own the bike this time, and it won't own you.
Yeah, just listening to your show, we've kind of just realized how dumb we are with everything.
No, you're not dumb. I mean, really, overall, you've done a good job. It's just that's the one thing that's sticking out big time. So then you only got $8,000 in a couple months. You're debt free, and you don't need to buy a house. You just go rent you an apartment, and you guys get married.
Okay.
And I think she needs to find some work she enjoys doing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine if one day she wants to be a stay-at-home
start developing a
mom.
career, even if she does choose to come and just be a full-time mom after babies come and all that. But if I were you, I would work diligently to be out of the car debt and out of your mom's house and married by fall.
Okay.
And I think you can do that.
I think I can too.
Okay.
We believe in you.
Yeah, and of course the motorcycle's gone. And you started your life. I mean, when I was 22, Sharon and I were married. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. We had 2 junky little cars, and we started off our life. And we were dumber than a rock. We were a lot dumber than you, Tristan. I mean, we really were. I mean, if you looked at our finances, they were horrible. And, and I just expanded that horrible and made it, with millions, and it was horrible. And then I went broke and lost everything because I expanded my stupidity. So, Tristan, you really got a good start.
Yeah.
You really did.
It's a reversible decision.
It was a cool thing to dig into your story, though, and start to understand what all was going on there. Because at first it sounded like it was one thing, and then I got a whole other picture.
Definitely a strange situation, not the norm.
You got to learn a little bit about what's happening there. Good. I like it. Jeremy's with us in Grand Junction, Colorado. Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. How can we help?
Starting off on baby step 6.
Good.
I just have a question about paying off early.
Good.
Can I potentially pay it off earlier by throwing the extra $500 in an S&P 500 fund?
No.
Is it too risky to do that?
It's not too risky, but I just throw it at the house.
Just throw it at the house.
Yeah, you're not going to gain enough to screw with it. Just beat the crap out of that house.
What's left on the mortgage?
$200,000.
Mm-hmm. What's your income?
Income is $160,000.
So how fast do you think you're going to pay off $200,000?
I'm hoping 10 years.
10 years? While throwing extra?
Yeah.
What's stopping you from throwing $50,000 a year at the extra on the mortgage?
I guess I'm working on baby steps 5 and 6 right now.
Yeah.
But you'll throw a few $100 in college.
How much? How old are your kids?
Oldest is 16.
Okay, so you're trying to play catch up on college, and that's draining down. That's draining a lot of your income right now.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you weren't throwing a chunk in there, I mean, out of 160, you could certainly do more than $20,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be 10, but I think it might be 6. I was guessing 4, but I didn't have your college number in my head when I did that. So
yeah,
I was with George. If you didn't have college, you could throw 50 a year at it. Agreed?
Yeah.
And you'd be done in 4. But now we got college, and so we're not going to quite do that much. So it's going to take, instead of 4, it's probably going to take 6 or 7, something like that. But yeah, I don't think it needs to take 10 still. But yeah, you just throw money at it, dude. Just throw money at it. And it's, the people that we meet that have become millionaires in our millionaire study that we did, over 10,000 of them, they had a paid-for house and they had a stocked full retirement account. And so it often sounded like a paid-for $500,000, $600,000 house and $1 million, $1.1 million, $1.2 million in their 401k and Roth IRAs. and it took them, 15 to 17 years to get there from the time they got to where you are right now. And so if you're not already a millionaire, you probably are going to be in about 10 or 12 from where you sit today.
Sweet. Can't wait.
Yeah, with the value of your house and the value of your investments. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you will be a typical Baby Steps millionaire at that point.
What I would do, too, is jump onto the mortgage payoff calculator at RamseySolutions.com, start playing with those numbers, and that gets you fired up. You go, what if I could do an extra $100 in that? And $200 and $300, and you start to see the amortization schedule start to dwindle, and you start paying less interest and more on the principal. Boom.
Yeah, once you introduce the concept to your brain that, it's only $200. I mean, that's divided by 10 is $20,000. Divided by 5 is $40,000. Divided by 4 is $50,000. Just big math, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you go, I think I can do this out of 160.
Most people do it faster than they think they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Once you believe you can, it's a big deal. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live, it's The Ramsey Show. Thank you for being with us. This is where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We're broadcasting from Ramsey Solutions. This is the show where we teach you how to build wealth, how to, absolutely find work that you love, and actual relationships. Yeah. All of this works together so you have a better life. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Well, George, the bear is in the house.
Uh-oh. I keep seeing the headlines,
The
Dave.
bear is here. The bear has arrived. The bear market.
It's so scary.
Scary bear.
Now, bulls are scary too, but for some reason, there's something about the bear market, Dave, that's got people riled up. What's going on there?
Well, a bear market is like a recession. It's a thing that the media throws around as like, whoa! Tornado is coming! Get in your bathtub, put on a helmet!
They got my click.
Yeah. The bear market is a bear market! It's a recession! Well, these are not good things.
Well,
but
is our life over?
We do have a tendency to hyperbole and overreact and create headlines and get people to watch our news shows by doing these things.
So what are my chances of living?
So
just hit me
guess
straight,
what?
Doc.
I'm booked to talk about the bear market on Fox a little bit later in the week
fun.
here. So I always get the phone call when things are bad. And so here we go again. So here's a bear market. Market's down 20%. That's definition of bear. That's it.
I thought the sky was falling.
Nope, Chicken Little. Not happening.
Kind of disappointing. I thought there would be more.
But, if you were buying shoes and they were on sale 20% off, you'd be excited.
I love a good sale.
If you're buying a car and it was 20% off, that'd be a nice thing. But when your stocks are 20% off and you get to buy them at a discount, people don't think that way. They think that I've lost all my money in the stock market. No, you haven't lost anything unless you sold it. I don't even know how much I've lost because I haven't lost anything because I haven't sold it.
Great time to invest.
The only person that gets hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off in the middle of the ride. Ride the coaster, baby.
So if you're staring
at the
401k balance, you're saying don't freak out.
I'm saying quit staring at your 401k balance. I haven't even looked at mine.
Don't cash it out.
Well, you're just, No, here's the deal. You are not in this for a 2-week play. Your 401k is not a 2-week play. It's not a 2-month play. It's not a 2-year play. Your 401k is a 20 or a 40-year play. And so all you should care about is where the market's going to be when you get there. That's all you should care about. You don't have to care about what it is in a given moment. And the reason you don't have to care about that is you're thinking, do you think that 20% off, honestly, people, if you're one of those that's freaking out right now, if you're the one I'm making fun of because you're melting down and you're in drama queen mode, if that's you, ask yourself, do you really think that the American economy is going to implode? No, I mean, stop your little feelings. I'm talking about use your intellect. Breathe. Do you really think that all of these companies, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Home Depot, Apple, are going to become worth zero? Now, come on. Breathe. Breathe with me. They're not. Okay? Why are they down? Because we have a screwed up economy because of COVID and Joe Biden screwing with the gas pipelines. It's pretty simple. COVID's going to go away, and hopefully Joe will after a few more years. And it's going to be okay, right? Quit screwing with stuff in the economy and let the economy run, and it runs just fine. But COVID messed up supply chain, supply demand, prices went all wonky. I mean, my God, it's like the Mississippi ran backwards. Used cars went up in value. What a weird world we live in. I mean, seriously. This is a weird economy. And people who used to get $10 an hour to put bread on the shelves now get $30 an hour to put bread on the shelves, and we wonder why the price of bread went up. Because we all want a universal wage for doing nothing. And so socialism is kicking in, and you guys are loving the benefits of it. And so this is what's going on. So the bear market is simply the stock market is following us into a recession. The people or investors are not feeling happy. They're feeling sad. And so they're not willing to pay as much for a single stock as they were. Thus, the price of the stock market is going down. And it's down 20%, which is a lot, but it is not time to panic. And here's the thing. What is it Buffett says? He says, I try to be greedy when others
are fearful,
and fearful when others are greedy.
Great quote.
And now, I don't know if Buffett is actually greedy. I don't look at him as that type of person, like greedy, but more like, yeah, I want to be. This is the time to buy. That's a contrarian mentality. In other words, contrary to the typical person out there, the typical investor. Okay, so if the investors are running away from the stock market and it's going down, that means it's on sale. When I was a kid, and we went to Kmart, which is now gone. That's how long ago this was. But the dinosaurs roamed the earth back then. If you went into Kmart, they had this little box they would roll around that had a little pole on it. On top of it was a blue light, like a policeman's light, right? Like Sheriff Taylor is in town. Barney Fife is here, right? And so they would flip that little light on and move it over next to something and take whatever it was on that rack and put it on sale. It was called a blue light special. And so it's on sale. And all us rednecks would run to Kmart and go to the blue light specials and get deals on whatever it was that we didn't need at Kmart. And so, but that's all the stock market is. It's on sale. It's a blue light special right now. It's down 20%. You have the opportunity to buy. So if you think that the stock market, if you think the American economy, companies like Home Depot, Apple, and so on, are going to be worth, as a group, more 20 years from today, then you would be happy to buy more shares right now while they're on sale, would you not? That is logical. But not if you watch the news. Oh, my God! It's just crazy out there, right? And so sitting about to put the helmet on, the tornado's coming. It's, oh my God, like a bike helmet is going to help you in a tornado, you idiot. But
now, what about the group of people who are actually trying to retire right now, or they're recently retired and they're having to dip?
You don't use all your money. You don't okay, today is my retirement day. I'm taking all of that money out.
Cash out $2 million.
$800,000, and I'm going to put it on my kitchen table. That is not what people do at retirement. Okay? What do you do at retirement if you have $800,000 in mutual funds? Do you take it all out? No. What do? You take an income off of it. And you say, I want that $800,000 to give me $80,000 a year. And so you take $80,000 a year off. Well, it didn't make $80,000, so you use up a little of your $800,000. And next year, when you take out $80,000 and it goes up $200,000, then you don't have to worry about it because it all goes back. And so just set up your income out of it. You didn't lose your retirement. Calm your butt down. We are going into a little lightweight recession, 2 quarters in a row of the economy not growing. A recession is the gross domestic product, the adding up of all goods and services in America. 2 quarters in a row shrunk. That is a recession. It receded like my hairline. Okay?
I wasn't going to say it.
That's how it works. You weren't going to say it, but I did. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. A lot of people would rather spend their weekend doing yard work than insurance. I got a better idea. You get to see George, as a Ramsey Personality, walk you through our new 5-day guide to insurance called Confidence in Your Coverage. Makes learning about insurance quick and practical. You're going to laugh out loud. These are little quick, short clips, but you're going to learn about insurance. And George is not only informative, but he's downright entertaining. So be sure and check this stuff out. It's the 5-day guide to insurance, Confidence in Your Coverage, with George Camel. Go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence, and you'll still have to do the yard work, but you'll know more about insurance. RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Canada is on the line. Brittany's calling. Hi, Brittany. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
My husband and I are 30 and 31. We've been married for 10 years, and we have a 2.5-year-old daughter. My question is about my parents. They're in their early 60s. They have absolutely no retirement plan. They have credit card debt. They rent their house. They barely make ends meet. My mom can't work, and my dad got laid off 5 years ago from his sales job and has been doing food delivery and odd jobs ever since, and is sort of barely squeezing by. We try to help, but we have our own young family to worry about, and I'm the only child who's able to take care of them in the future. So our question is, what should we be doing to prepare for the future when they need to retire?
Wow. Well, the only thing only the strong can help the weak. Broke people can't feed hungry kids. And if you're broke, and because you have a big fund over here that says parents on the side of it, and you have no other money, and you haven't taken care of yourself, and you're supposed to take care of them somehow in your mind instead of your own family, then that doesn't work. So your best option is do the stuff we teach. Get yourself out of debt, build your emergency fund, build some wealth, and become wealthy. And the wealthier you are, by the time they need help, the less strain it's going to put on you if you choose to help them. Since they've not chosen to help themselves, how does your husband feel about this?
He's equally as concerned about their well-being as I am. Of course, our family comes first, but we would be the only ones who could help them to keep them off the street in the future.
Sometimes that's code for I'm getting ready to put my own family in stress. And I'm not okay with that. Just go ahead and say it out loud. Your babies and your husband and your household are a 10 out of 10 on a priority. And your parents, after their misbehavior and lack of responsibility and don't give a rip about anything and choose to continue down this spending like they're in Congress, are down the list. I'm sympathetic towards them. I'd love for you to be able to help them, but they're not real appealing people to help, you know?
That's true.
And so have you talked to them and said that to them?
No, we're a bit nervous to talk to them because we feel like they might be defensive.
Oh, you think? I'll bet they're defensive. Yeah.
So we've tried to talk to them, but it doesn't seem like it seems like they're in denial about
No, they're stuck on stupid. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Wow.
I think there's some guilt and shame on their part as well. They're feeling because
Sure.
they haven't taken care of themselves, and they've probably lost hope that anything could even change. And so the only thing you can do is inject some hope into their lives. And that doesn't mean you have to be soft. It might mean a really hard conversation where you say, you're broke and we can't take care of you, and I love you guys, and here's what it's going to take to get out of this situation, but I need you to care more than I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the only grown-up in the equation I'm talking to is you.
Feels like that sometimes.
I'm sorry?
It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah. And it's frustrating. Got to be frustrating for you. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be mean or shaming to them. That doesn't serve any purpose. No one is ever transformed by somebody being mean to them. I mean, we do it here on the air because it's just entertaining, but the truth is most people are transformed more by love, right? And so sitting down with them and just going, Mom and Dad, I'm really scared for y'all, and I'm honestly a little bit scared that it's going to put a strain on our family because somehow I'm going to be looked to be the only one that takes care of y'all because you haven't taken care of yourself. And you know, one more piece of honesty is it frustrates me a little bit. I'm pretty upset with you about that. That you guys are a future liability to me because you won't behave. And so I really want y'all to consider doing some stuff. I'd love to help you, coach you. I mean, we're doing some stuff. We've gone through this class. I'll pay for you to go through this class. You know, that kind of stuff. But there's no sense in shaming them. But it is also unfair for us all to walk around and act like this is okay. If they were doing some other kind of misbehavior, you wouldn't tolerate it. I mean, if they're doing cocaine, you wouldn't, well, I just don't want to talk to them about it. I think they'll be defensive. You know, you'd be going, right. No, that's crazy. Y'all are doing cocaine. Yeah. I mean,
you can't confuse love with enabling. And a lot of times people go, well, this is the only way I know how to love them is to give them money and throw that at the problem.
Yeah. And that's what's being set up here. It's not there yet, but it's being set up. And it's as if you feel the obligation to take care of somebody. But, well, it's sweet. I appreciate your sweet heart. You really have a good heart. But I do think you owe them a candid conversation about your fears and your frustrations around this subject. And that's not to shame them, but that's to let them in on the fact that they should really and could really do some things to help themselves and so that they don't become a burden. And that's just frustrating. Oh, it's hard. Hannah's with us in Kingsport, Tennessee. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'll just get my base question out on the floor first. My base question is, should I get a part-time or full-time job while I get a personal business off the ground? I have 3 business ideas that I'm in the middle of deciding among, although I've pretty much decided on Etsy. My husband's full-time income is about $84,000 to $90,000 take-home a year, and he's doing contract work, so he's an engineer. So we may or may not be moving to Florida or Pennsylvania next. Our end goal is to adopt, and we don't want to have any debt when we adopt. We don't have any debt right now, but I count our mortgage as debt. I hate it. It makes me feel sick sometimes.
It is debt.
Excuse me?
It is debt. Mortgage is a debt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's how I view it as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't pay the house, you don't pay the payment, they'll take the house. That's called debt. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's, it's not, I don't want to be sick about it. I don't want you to be stressed out. But, well, why couldn't you work while you're starting your Etsy thing? What's the downside?
I'm hesitant because I have some mental health issues. They're not super severe. I don't have to be on medication, but I have pretty severe anxiety that can lead to panic attacks sometimes, depending on the work I do. Mm-hmm. I also have health issues that prohibits me from being around chemicals. So, like, I couldn't work at a grocery store because I'd have to use chemicals that legitimately make me sick. Sick, like.
Wow. So are you getting some therapy, some help on the anxiety issues?
I have in the past. I've been really leaning into the Lord and into my family to help with the anxiety, and journaling for some reason has really been helpful too.
It's very helpful. It's very helpful. It's a good tool. Yeah, I would just, if you had any other kind of illness, a physical illness, you would get a doc. And you'd lean into the Lord and family on that too. And then you'd get a doc that tells you need penicillin, or you get a doc that says you need to exercise or whatever. And so if I were in your shoes, I'd probably try to get somebody to coach me on this issue so that I can get this out of my life, and see if, get a good Christian counselor that the Lord can use to guide you. And I think that'd be helpful. But yeah, if you can find a workplace that's chemical free and doesn't trigger your anxiety issues while you're working on them, I would. But I'm fine with you not doing that. You can live on your husband's income.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not necessary, but I would find some work you can do, even if it's from home, and get the Etsy business off the ground at the pace that you can do it.
Yeah, and I would love to have the anxiety thing under control and heading in the right direction before we continue the adoption process.
Yeah, and do that with cash for sure.
This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. Irina is with us in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Irina. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I am better than I deserve.
Good. How can we help?
Thank you so much for taking my call. It's such an honor to speak with you. So my husband and I are in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And I know that means 15% of total household income invested towards retirement. I am wondering, based on our situation, so we're pretty young. We already have about $27,000 for retirement, which I made, me and my husband, then he was my boyfriend. I made us invest that when we were in high school. And using the investment calculator, so right now, both of us are working. I recently graduated from college, debt-free. And using the investment calculator, I saw that, if we're putting in $1,000 each month, then in 2055, when we want to retire at a 10% return, we'll have about $4 million, which is very, very comfortable for us. So I was wondering if it would be a good idea to keep investing that $1,000, which is about 15% of my income, and then we would use my husband's 15% of his income, and whatever else we can save apart from for our kids and new car and everything, to hopefully to go towards the house and hopefully pay that off soon, so that later I can leave work, raise the kids, and we can continue to save that $1,000 for retirement and have some wiggle room when we go back to just one salary.
So let me recap. You want to invest 7.5% of your household income to create wiggle room to fund other life goals.
Effectively, yes.
No, I would invest 15% total. He invests 15, you invest 15. It doesn't matter how it shakes down as long as it's 15% of your household income. And you guys should have the margin to fund everything else.
What's your household income?
Right now it'll be about $145 with before taxes.
Okay. Well, let me help you with this. Your assumptions were that you kept investing the exact same amount for your entire life.
Yeah, and
which would assume that you made no more money.
Mm-hmm.
So you started at 145 and never got a raise for 50 years.
Yeah.
Not a realistic assumption, agreed?
Yeah, so
you're going to have more than $4 million, and you're going to have the house paid off even quicker than you thought. Both.
It's hard to see it with the numbers because if we're investing 15% of our total income, it seems like it'll take. Not it seems. Running the numbers, it'll take.
So how much do you owe on your house?
We have a loan out for I think around $300.
Okay. All right, and so if you pay $30,000 a year on the house, in 10 years it's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you pay $50,000 a year on the house out of 145, it's gone in, 6 years? Okay? So between 6 and 7 years, or between 6 and 10 years, your home's going to be paid off. How old are you?
I'm 21. My husband's 23.
And you'll be 31. Ooh, ancient. I don't know how you're going to get around when you're 31. It'd be awful. But, honey, you are doing so good. Chill out and follow the baby steps. They work.
Will do.
You're going to be fine. You're not only going to get the house paid off before you think you're going to, you're going to have more at retirement than you think you're going to. Because you're going to get raises that you didn't factor into your equation. And so when the math is talking to you with the wrong assumptions, it's telling you the wrong things.
Okay. Yeah, it was using that base number just to see
it's a good exercise to go through, but it's not a good exercise it's not a good exercise to allow your emotions to kick in because of.
Mm-hmm.
So, and listen, did you hear what you just said to me? You're 22 years old. You guys make $145,000. Do you understand where that puts you? That's like rock star stuff. You're amazing.
Praise God.
Yeah, you are.
I sense some anxiety about the future that you don't need to be having. You're doing great.
Listen, you're just a wonderful nerd is what you are.
Yep.
I mean, you love getting in these numbers and bathing around these numbers. Talk to you.
The fact you're even thinking about this stuff and talking about
you're
it
amazing.
Makes me think you're going to be.
You are so wonderful. You're going to do so much better than your feelings are telling you you're going to do. Not because you worry and fret, but because you pay attention. And because you got an incredible freaking start at 22 years old.
This is a good problem to have.
Jesus.
So, listen, you invest 15%, you still have 85% of your gross income at your disposal to accomplish all of your life goals, funding college, paying off the home early, going on vacation. You guys are going to be great.
Fine. You're going to be a millionaire when you're 30. Oh, my gosh. Easy. Slam dunk. Hold on. I'm going to send you a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires. Maybe it'll calm you down a little bit. You're doing great. You are doing so much better than you feel like you're doing. Rex is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Rex?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Well, okay, so we're kind of getting in this a little late in the game. We're both, me and my wife, we're both 45.
Ooh.
Ancient.
Has the authorized kicked in yet?
Exactly. Yes, it has. But anyway, I mean, we do well. We've got a mortgage that we owe about $122,000 on. House is worth close to $400,000.
Way to go! You almost got it done. Good.
I know, and that's what I've been focusing on this, for the last 15 years.
How can we help you today? What do you need?
Well, so we've got about $90,000 in savings, and I want to take that money and throw it at the house.
90. In what kind of savings? Just in your savings account at the bank?
It's at the bank. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Today. Do you have an emergency fund in addition to that?
Yes.
How much is in your emergency fund?
$30,000.
And you make how much a year?
Combined about $225,000.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, take the 90 and throw it at the house today and pay off the house by Christmas.
That's what I want to do, but my wife, she's a little more conservative, and she's like,
well, tell her after you get the house paid off, if she hates it, you can go get a mortgage.
Okay. So
if she's conservative, she'd want the house mortgage gone, wouldn't she?
Well, I know, but she's like, I'm without that money in the bank.
You have an emergency fund for that.
You have $30,000 and a $225,000 income. Is there something unstable about your income?
No, not at all. She's a nurse. I'm in sales.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I understand, but what I can tell you is this, is that I will make her a promise that when she gets this house paid off by Christmas, she's going to sense a security that is 10x what this $90K sitting in a stupid savings account is giving her. Here's why, okay? And just because I've been doing this for so long, and I've personally experienced it too, but I've witnessed it with debt-free screamers and talked to people all the time. The borrower is slave to the lender, and what we don't understand is what Dr. John Deloney talks about. Our body carries the stress of debt that we don't even know is there because we've been carrying it so long we're used to it. And when there's suddenly it's over, and you got no payments anywhere, you suddenly, I mean, it's like somebody took 300 pounds off your shoulders. You stand up a little straighter. George, you just paid off your house, back in January, right?
Dr. John Deloney said, George, you've been walking around with a little swagger ever since you paid off the house.
Is that what caused the swagger?
That's so much swag, Dave.
I didn't know that. That's the swag.
But it's true. There's a levity to it.
Tell your wife you promise her that you will be walking with a swagger when you get your house paid off. But no, seriously, I'm telling you, there's a thing that happens in the physical and in the spiritual because the borrower is slave to the lender. And when you are not a slave anymore to Citibank or Countrywide or whoever the flip it is, it changes things that you cannot put a pencil to and that don't show up necessarily directly in the checkbook. But man, you feel free. And I promise you her security is going to be 10x. She's going to be glad she did it. And if you hate it, you can always go get a mortgage. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Helen Keller said, we can do anything if we stick to it long enough. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Justin is in South Bend, Indiana. Hi, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. What's up?
So my wife and I, we are planning to build. We were trying to get on this housing boom here and sell our home. And there's definitely a lot of things that I was finishing up, and I wanted to make sure we were going to give somebody a good home. So I had a lot of things I wanted to finish, make sure it was good to go. And now I kind of feel like we missed the boat. House has been on the market for about 2 weeks, 10 days with a realtor. So no activity at all. And I'm very concerned and I don't know what to do from here.
So when you sell it, where are you moving?
So we're actually going to move in with my in-laws. We're going to end up building, and I'm going to do a majority of that myself. So
sounds like a long journey.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Do the in-laws know that?
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Thankfully, they're willing to take us in.
Yeah. So how long does this project take, do you think?
So it'll probably take at least a good 10 to 12 months. Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to be the general contractor?
Yeah, I'm going to be the GC, and I have a few good friends that are going to help me with a lot of electrical and plumbing. So I'm hoping to save, quite a bit of money going that route.
Okay, good. That sounds fun. All right. So you've had zero lookers.
Zero lookers.
Why?
Yeah.
What do you think the problem
I'm not entirely.
Yeah, you do. What do you think's wrong with the house? Is it priced too high or is it ugly?
I don't think it's ugly. Personally, I've done most of the work. So,
what does your realtor think?
Really good. She told us that we have really good curb appeal. She thought it was a good home. And, I guess what's really discouraging is our neighbors next door sold in 4 days. This was about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. They sold in about 4 days.
And what did it sell for?
Definitely.
What is
303.
303,000, and yours is listed for what?
Yes, sir. 290.
Okay. And what was their square footage?
It's 1,100, I believe it was.
And yours is?
Ours is 1,800, including the finished basement.
So you have almost twice the size house for less money and have not had a single looker?
No, sir.
Did your realtor actually put it in MLS? Is there a sign in the front yard?
It shows.
Is this an
Definitely
ELP?
the front yard.
Is your real estate agent a Ramsey ELP?
I don't know.
Apparently not. Okay.
Can you hire the neighbor's realtor? Because clearly they did a good job.
Yeah, I definitely could look into that. I guess that's why I'm calling you, because I don't know exactly what the problem is.
I don't either.
Not sure what to do.
I'm hearing more. I'm hearing a better buy. I mean, you're 75 cents on the dollar per square foot of the house next door, and you're almost twice as large, and you're for less money. I mean, there's nothing I hear that.
Did you get professional photos done? Was it staged properly?
Yeah, we got professional photos done.
You're not under construction on any of your projects.
No, sir. No, but that's why we kind of listed it. I feel a little late because I wanted to make sure everything was done.
It's not late. I mean, the market didn't, in the last 2 weeks, the market in South Bend, Indiana didn't just stop. That just didn't happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So something else is going on. I don't know what it is, but I mean, the real estate market has slowed down versus 3 months ago. But but your neighbor's sale indicates the market's still fairly lively.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The real estate agent has no idea. They've got no input.
No, they were at a loss as well, and we're just kind of at a standstill. And I'm not sure if we should lower the price or keep it the same or.
No, I don't think. I mean, if the house next door is any kind of comparable sale at all, I mean, if it's any indicator, you're not overpriced. Agreed?
Okay.
I don't think price is the problem here. I think we need to look into the other factors with the real estate agent and really start to make some tweaks and see if it changes the ball game at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks. Okay. That's not bad. It only takes one buyer, but oh my goodness. Sure. I'm with you. It's a little bit. I'm not freaking out that the overall economy has completely fallen in the dumper since your neighbor's house sold 14 days ago, and you missed the one little moment in time you could have sold your house. It's not that's just not true. That didn't happen. Okay, so but the market is slowing, and there is lots of bad economic news on the TV, but that does not mean suddenly all the buyers went away. They did not. People are selling houses like crazy out there. So all across America to this day. So I don't know. I that's interesting. There's something in this conversation I don't know. That there's a piece of information I'm missing. That
I just don't think lowering it by $5,000 is going to cause 17 people to show up.
No, I would not lower the price. I might change the real estate agent if they have absolutely no input. I mean, if your real estate agent sold 50, 60 houses last year, they would. I'm afraid you've got a newbie. But if you don't have a newbie, if you've got a stud that's high octane that's doing a lot of work, then maybe we just give it a little time. Just let it sit and watch it a little bit and see. But that's a little weird. I don't disagree with you. Strange. If you want to get the people that we recommend, they're called Ramsey Trusted Endorsed Local Providers. These are all high octane, high performers, sell a lot of houses or they don't get in our program. We will not endorse somebody that doesn't do a lot of volume. And if you want to find out who that is, just click on that, call them and ask them for an opinion. You can just call them and talk to them. Click on them at RamseySolutions.com and ELP for real estate. And, you put in your zip and your street address and all that kind of junk, and it'll pop right up and give you a couple different people to pick from in your area. David is with us in Tucson. Hi, David. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I know time's short, so I'll jump straight to it.
Good.
Doing retirement income planning on old assumptions, and all of a sudden some of those assumptions are changing. So my plan's always been to wait till 70 for Social Security for the 8% per year boost. And my full retirement age is about 2 months away. And suddenly I realized with inflation, COLAs aren't likely to be 1 or 2%. They're likely to be 6 to 8%, which pretty much makes up the difference. I'm still working. I can divert up to $27,000 a year into a traditional 457B. As we discussed earlier today, you can buy that on sale. Mm-hmm. Social Security is only taxable at 85% instead of 100%.
Yeah, so your question is
Am I missing something, or is it time to...
Your question's what? What do you want to do?
Am I missing something, or does claiming Social Security at full retirement age just make more sense than it ever did?
Claiming Social Security now instead of 70 because the economy's down right now?
Well, the COLA makes up the loss of
maybe
waiting for the delayed credit.
Yeah, maybe if it doesn't adjust it more. I mean, COLA's not out yet on the, and it's usually not going. It's going to self-correct over time because your inflation rate hopefully is not going to stay at this, because I don't believe that we're going to leave people in office that continue to do the stupid butt stuff that they're doing. So yeah, no, I don't. I think your original plan is the plan you stick with. Because I don't think you're going to see the inflation numbers stay up there long enough to make sure your plan activates the way you're talking about. Your new plan activates the way you're talking about. So I think your old plan is just fine. I try not to make permanent decisions on temporary data, and that's what this feels like. But hey, thanks for the call. It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
George, good show today.
Appreciate it.
Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, James in the booth. Well done, gentlemen. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.